this is the fanciest ratna I have ever seen before. Now, if you get in here, the noodle is sort of like, it's really been kind of crispy fried, and then there's this egg on top. Oh my goodness. Who's gonna get the egg? Who's gonna get the egg porn? Someone. Gao, are you gonna get the egg porn? Let's have a look. Yes, look at that. Look at how jammy that egg is. Oh my goodness, so good. Okay, so we have egg. The other main component of ratna is the gravy sauce. So that's very important. So noodle, gravy sauce, some veg. Oh yeah, it's a good one. It's all about the gravy with this dish, and that is really good gravy. I do have like my mum's home recipe for ladna that I've made a million times, but this is something else. This is really cool. I need to try and make this back in the studio. Yum. So you would think from watching the street vendor and like that dramatic sizzling and stuff that happened that this would be a very complicated dish to make at home. But actually there's some pretty cool technique here with cooking the noodles and the egg and stuff, but we're gonna go through it together and it's a lot simpler than you think. And is it worth it? Oh my goodness, it's so good. The whole point of a really good ladna is actually the fresh rice noodles. Now here in Thailand, the rice noodles are really fresh and lovely and soft. If your rice noodles are very firm, just pop them in the microwave for like 40 seconds to a minute until they soften up a little bit. There's like an oil grease layer between each strand of noodle or sheet of noodle, and that'll kind of warm it up and allow you to separate the noodles just like I'm doing now. So that's like the little trick to getting rice noodles ready to stir fry or cook. Now we have our rice noodles here. The next part is the deep frying. You can check whether your oil is hot enough just by dipping a wooden spoon in there, and you're just waiting for some lovely little bubbles to start forming around the bottom of that wooden spoon. That tells you the oil is hot enough for frying. Gently drape them around. Be careful that oil is hot. I'm creating kind of like a little nest of noodles here, and then just let those noodles cook and fry and crisp up in that hot oil. They're not going to turn golden or brown or anything like that, but after about 5 or 6 minutes you'll notice that the edges of the noodles are quite crispy and firm when you kind of touch them with your spider or your spatula. At this point you can crack your egg into the middle of your nest of noodles, and then use the spatula to kind of just gently splash some hot oil over the top of the egg. This is so that we can cook the egg white, but I do want to try and keep that egg yolk nice and soft so we get that beautiful like egg yolk food porn right at the end. Now when the white looks cooked, you can use 2 spatulas to carefully lift out your nest of noodles and egg and place it onto a plate. Now you can see if I press on that egg yolk, it's still nice and wobbly. Oh, so exciting. Okay, so let's talk about how we make the gravy for this dish. Now, I did talk about how the very humble or home version of ladna is very simple, and the one I cook at home typically is just pork or chicken. We're going a bit special today though. I'm using some chicken thigh. I'm also using some fresh squid, and then this is, in English it translates to like pickled squid, but it doesn't taste pickled. It's not tangy. It's here in Thailand it's called mukgrop. That's right, isn't it? Got it. Grop means crispy in Thai, muk means squid. If you're in Thailand, you'll be able to get this. If not, just leave it out if you're elsewhere in the world. It just has a crispy squid kind of texture and flavor. One more secret ingredient before we start stir frying the sauce. It will add extra umami and flavor to your sauce. In Thai, we call this tao gio. It is a yellow soybean paste, often sold in Asian stores everywhere. I can get this back home in Australia as well, so search it out if you can. If you can't get a hold of it, that's fine. Just add a little extra soy sauce just for some extra kind of flavor. All right, let's get stir frying. To make your gravy sauce, empty the oil out from your wok and then add in just a tablespoon of vegetable oil when your wok is hot, the tao gio, and your protein. My proteins now are pretty much cooked or almost cooked, so I'm going to go in with some chicken stock. This is the kind of smell, like that beautiful, like savory broth gravy. You know, when my mum used to make this for me when I was little, I loved it so much. It's just one of those lovely classic, like Thai Chinese kind of flavors for me. Soy, kind of sesame broth, so good. And now we can add the seasonings. I've got oyster sauce, soy sauce, a little bit of sugar, and some sesame oil. Vegetables go in now, so I've just got here some carrot and some baby corn. Got some green leaves here. This is from Chinese broccoli. Just give those vegetables just a couple of minutes here. And then we have this lovely broth here, which we're now going to turn into a gravy by adding a potato starch slurry. So this is potato starch mixed with some water. You could also use tapioca starch or corn flour, but once you add it in, it almost magically turns everything into a thick, shiny gravy, like within 30 seconds or so. Look at that, so shiny and amazing. I'm so excited already. Okay, one final thing, we need to heat up our hot plate. My hot plate is smoking, and I mean really smoking, so I'm gonna get it onto its little wooden base here. You can find this sort of like hot plate situation at a lot of Asian grocery stores. Now let's get moving quickly here. My egg goes on top. Egg and noodle, I should say. Whew. All right, this is where we get really dramatic. Oh, so fun. It's just like being on the street in Bangkok. This is such a fun but delicious way to enjoy this dish at home. The fancy lat na, I love it. Okay, final little touch here. My mum's lat na always had white pepper. And there you go, my friends. A fancy Chinatown version of lat na at home. Sizzling lat na. So good. Now let's see if I succeeded in my quest for the perfect yolk. Whoa, look at that. Look at that yolk. Oh my goodness. The noodle, egg yolk, the gravy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I don't think I can ever eat my mum's lat na again. I love the crispiness of that rice noodle. Oh my goodness. And that egg yolk, gravy. Yes. Just gonna stand here and eat all of this right now. See ya. So good.